It was the kind of morning that shouldn't have felt different, but it did. The rain tapped gently against the windowpane of room 206, just like it always had, but today, something inside Maya felt louder than the storm outside. She sat at her tiny wooden desk, staring at a crumpled, yellowing envelope she had found wedged between two old books in her grandmother's attic. Her hands trembled as she held it. The letter was never mailed, but it had a name on it, to Aisha, with all the love I couldn't say. Her mother's handwriting. For most of her life, Maya had believed her mother, Sarah, had died in a car accident when Maya was only 3. It had been the family's truth, carved into her memory like stone. Her grandmother never talked about it. Her father left when she was 8. And her aunt raised her with care but never filled in the missing pieces. This letter, fragile and forgotten, threatened to rewrite everything. With hesitant fingers, Maya opened it. The ink was faded, but the words echoed with life. My dearest Aisha, I don't know if I'll ever get to send this to you. Maybe by the time you read it, you'll hate me. Maybe you already do. I can't fix the past. But I need you to know why I left. The rest of the letter unfolded like a confession, a heart spilled out onto paper. Her mother hadn't died. She had left. She had fled an abusive relationship, taken Maya with her, and hidden for safety. But when Maya fell ill, Sarah had returned briefly to the city to get medicine, only to be caught, threatened, and forced to disappear for good. She had watched Maya grow up from a distance, too afraid to reveal herself and risk putting her daughter in danger. The letter ended with, I have loved you every day, in silence. I hope one day, you'll understand. Maya stared at the final words, stunned. The world around her blurred, the rain on the window matching the tears streaming down her cheeks. Her mother had never been gone, only lost. The days that followed felt surreal. Maya confronted her aunt, who broke down and confirmed the truth. Yes, Sarah had survived. Yes, she had tried to reach out. And yes, Maya's father had been far more dangerous than a child should ever know. He was gone now, arrested 5 years earlier. There was no longer a reason to hide. With trembling hope, Maya searched. Old addresses, online records, shelters, community networks, anything that could lead to her mother. Every day she imagined what it would be like to hear her voice, to hold her hand, to ask all the questions that haunted her for years. Weeks turned into months. Maya almost gave up. But then, one quiet afternoon, a volunteer from a domestic abuse support group emailed her. They had found a woman named Sarah, living under a different name, working at a bookstore in a coastal town 5 hours away. Maya didn't wait. She packed a bag, printed the letter, and took the train. The bookstore was small, nestled between a cafe and a florist. Maya stepped in, heart thundering. A woman behind the counter looked up. Her hair was silver-streaked now, her eyes weary but kind. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Maya whispered, Mom. Sarah blinked. Her hand flew to her mouth. The letter fell from Maya's fingers. The silence broke with the sound of tears and footsteps rushing forward. They held each other like two halves of a soul finally reuniting. For a long time, there were no words. Only years of pain being undone by an embrace. They talked for hours, about everything. About what could have been, about regrets, about survival. Maya learned that her mother had kept a photo of her in her wallet every day. That she had named her small apartment, Hope. That she had never stopped believing this day might come. Their reunion wasn't perfect, too many years had been lost. But healing began. Back home, Maya started volunteering at the same support group that helped her find her mother. She began sharing her story, not just about loss, but about resilience. And every time she saw a woman unsure if she could reclaim her life, she thought of her mother and smiled. The message: sometimes the truth hides in silence. But love, real love, never disappears, it waits, it endures, and when the time is right, it finds its way home. Would you like me to adapt this into a YouTube video script format with narration cues and emotional tone guides?